Welcome to the Cups of Consciousness show. I am Aleya, your host. I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine, a sound healer, the author and founder of the 7 Cups of Consciousness. I have produced 9 sound healing albums and have recorded over 2,000 meditations online. I am an energy practitioner and help people shift their consciousness using their energetic fields. And this show is all about using your energetic fields to shift your consciousness, as well as exploring energetic concepts that help you create a more empowered and connected life. This episode is an energetic session that explores concepts, energetic practices, and protocols that are similar to a prayer, which help you transform particular aspects of your life. When you listen, recognize that some part of you is using your energetic fields to shift your vibration, which in turn shifts your consciousness, your behaviors, your beliefs, how you react and respond. You might even go into an altered state, so use caution if you're driving or doing something that requires a focused mind. With all of this work that I present, remember that it is your energy shifting you in your own unique way. That way you stay in control and empower with your process. So take a deep breath in, pull yourself into your line of light, and explore your inner terrain in a safe and supported space. Let's dive in. The Tall Cups of Consciousness with me, Aleya, you, your guides, the Ascended Masters. And just taking a few deep breaths, pulling your energy and awareness into your line. And we call forth the Ascended Masters, the Galactic Council, the Earth Council, your team, your advisors, your spiritual family, the cetaceans, beings of love and light that you work with in this world and other worlds, to gather now around you in this safe and sacred space, to invite them to hold their energy and awareness in appropriate dimensions that serve and support them, and enable them to positively, empathically impact you. And we invite you, Soul Rider, at the level of your higher self, your body, Deva's higher self, and teams, to connect to your own healing source, your own spiritual power, your divine spark. Just take a moment to hold space for that energetic aspect of you, the energetic aspect of your body, your teams, to do that vertical hookup, connecting with your own spark that resides in the heart of Source, where you are expressing yourself from, to connect with all aspects of your being. And we call for it the appropriate sacred geometric healing holograms, sounds, mandalas, and light that have the capacity to support you from a place of clarity, discernment, balance, grace, and ease. We ask that these intentions are held in the energetic fields. So we just called in the guides, set up the space, and now just take a moment to invite your higher self, body, Deva's higher self, and teams to adjust your energetic volume to receive this work in a gentle, graceful way. Often, the more gentle, the deeper it goes. And calibrate your fields to extract only that which you need and bring it in for yourself in your own unique way. And if there's an energetic process that's not relevant to you, for you, to use this time to connect with your guides, your advisors, your spiritual family, and to receive the pearls that are relevant for you. It's like a sacred chamber, a sacred space, a sacred time that you can utilize to do a deep reset. And as some energetic aspect of you calibrates your fields, adjust your energetic volume, take another deep breath in, using your inhale to pull yourself deeply into your divine line, river of light, front of spine. To use your exhale to ground and anchor into that inner river. To use your higher self, your energetic fields, to pull yourself more deeply into your divine line. Front of spine for you, the soul rider. For your body to use its inhale, its energetic fields, to pull its energy and awareness into its divine line that runs through the spine, the spinal cord. to use the exhale to ground. And as you hold your energy and awareness in your divine line, I'm going to take a moment to just tune into the first piece for today's session. And the guides keep saying the word empowerment. And I'm just going to tune in to see what layer. Okay, so there's a destabilization of the grids. All of the grids are destabilized. That's what might make it feel very disorienting, messy, no solid ground to stand on. And this is the biggest, they're saying this is the biggest energetic shift we've seen in decades. That's a bit of a big deal. And Lionsgate, huge, huge, huge. Lionsgate is on August 8th. And this year, the Lionsgate has Mercury retrograde right before it. On July 17th, we go into Mercury retrograde. And on July 17th, when I tune into the energy, the Mercury retrograde like opens up this doorway between the worlds. Literally just straight open doorway. And so that can be really wonderful. It can be disorienting for people who are not energetically aware of what's happening. And how can we use it in a way that's really empowering? But they're like, slow down. There's a couple more steps before we get there. Okay, so huge energetic shift. Doorway opens. When doorway opens, okay, so we're in the prep time of the doorway opening, or this window opening. And as we begin to feel the doorway opening on the 17th, it destabilizes the grids, which is really good because that means that we can completely and totally reconfigure and rework the grids, especially if you've had grids or fabric or blueprints that haven't been supportive and sustainable. So it's an incredibly powerful time to make massive change inside yourself, which also then can reflect into the outer world. Now, if you say to yourself, well, my life is lovely and I don't really want it to change, I just want it to get even better, we'll bring in a piece to support that as well. Okay, so there's all these old ancestral grids, societal grids, fabric, blueprints, same concept, that you've been holding from previous incarnations that are limiting you, that your identity is wrapped up in, that your karma is wrapped up in. And again, we're still hunting. I'm looking at, okay, what's truly being asked for at this time to help us prep for the next 10 days with this huge grid destabilization. Grid work. And what kind of grid work? Okay. So feel into the idea that if you are called to this work, the tall cups, it's because you're from the future and you've come back into the past. And this work feels very familiar to you because it's the kind of work that we do in the future. And so if you know that you've come back into the past because you're from the future, now you are in the past, but you in the future have guidance and have an energetic structure that has the capacity to support you at an exponential level. So we're going to very carefully bring in the pieces to help you rework your grid system for you, the soul, for your body, for your teams, in a way that can support and sustain, and again, utilizing this time of malleability with this destabilization of the grids. If you have questions, reflections, feel free to share in chat room. And are the destabilization grids being cleared by the collective tears of cleansing? Everybody is processing the destabilization of the grids differently. So when we feel our grids destabilized, we don't know what supports us. We don't know what direction to move in. Not a lot of clarity. A huge identity crisis. We might use grief, fear, anger as a mechanism trying to ground because our grids just got destabilized and our grids do ground us. So we're going to be grasping at other ways to ground ourselves. not comfortable. And so that's why we want to bring in this energetic process to ground and be supported in a different way. But great question. An energetic protocol to support you in a time where there is a destabilization of the energetic grids or the roots. The roots are in a massive shift, which is really good because it can help us get unstuck from old patterns. We invite you to take a deep breath in, to pull your energy and awareness into your divine line, river of light, front of spine. To use your exhale to ground and anchor into that inner river. We invite you, soul rider, at the level of your higher self, your body, Davis higher self, and teams, your guides and advisors, to work with your energetic fields, to reference all of your grids, your blueprints, your roots, your support structures that are in flux. They're in a vibration of shift, change, destabilization. And the Ascended Masters are coming close and circling you. As some energetic aspect of you references all of your grids in every single dimension, soul, rider, body, and teams. And you might just be in this gentle, quiet, silent mantra or out loud, inviting my energetic self to reference all of my grids, all my roots, all my blueprints, all my vibrational fabric. Inviting some energetic aspect of me to reference all of my roots, all my grids, all my blueprints, all of my vibrational fabric in all dimensions where we express ourselves, you, the soul, your body, your teams. And as some energetic aspect of you references all of your roots, your grids, far beyond the mind, there's no way your mind could track all of these grids. Just let some energetic aspect of you reference them. Invite you from the future, perhaps as an ascended master, or where you have a stabilization, a support, a bounty, a consciousness of connection, to send appropriate energetic information to you in the past, which is the present, of how you could hold your grids, restructure your grids in a way that is in absolute alignment with your essence, your passion, your wisdom, your mastery, that has a connectedness and empowerment. And just take a moment. Some energetic aspect of you is referencing all of your grids, and you're inviting you from the future to send appropriate energetic information to you in this past moment of malleability. Sending, and there we go, appropriate energetic information to past self. Inviting you at the level of your higher self, your body, Davis higher self, and your teams to receive that energetic information from your future selves. And using your energetic selves to gently restructure, reorganize, shift the vibration of your roots, your grids, your fabric for greater support, greater connection, greater authenticity and alignment with your essence that is divine, regardless of your perception of self or your beliefs or whether you deserve something or you don't deserve something. Let that go for a moment and invite that energetic aspect of you in the future where there is incredible bounty, empowerment, joy, love, light, freedom, flow, peace, calm, connectedness, to send appropriate energetic information to you in this moment of change. There we go. And keep holding space for that energetic aspect of you to reweave, restructure, reconfigure, infuse appropriate vibrational frequencies into all of your roots, body, all of your blueprints, all of your grids, reworking, reweaving your grids, infusing appropriate vibrations into your grids, soul rider, body, teams, infusing appropriate supportive vibrations into your grids, soul rider, body, teams. In every single dimension where you are expressing yourself, this planet, and off, there we go, off planet, galactically, And breathe. Keep holding space for that infusion of more positive harmonic vibrations into your roots. You're using this little window of time, of malleability, to do a beautiful shift with your roots, your grids. And a lot of the times our 3D mind, our mental body will want to know the details of what that looks like in the physical dimension. But we want to go more with, well, what does it feel like to hold space for that energetic aspect of you, soul rider, your body and your teams, to infuse positive harmonic vibrations into every single one of your grids and every single dimension, to balance it, align it, harmonize it with your essence, your creative current, your spark, you in every single dimension. Because remember, you do express yourself in multiple dimensions. There is a connectedness, there is a coherence. And you might even feel like a pulsing happening inside you, which is an indicator of like a support system. When we feel that pulse, it's like the flow, the current, the connectedness. And then I just heard the guide say, well done. So in a higher realm far beyond the mind, we just took a moment to receive appropriate energetic information from our future selves and to infuse supportive vibrations into our grids. Now, one other kind of simple one-liner mantra that you could do for the next 10 days is you say, I invite my future self, or I invite me from the future as an ascended master, to send me information, vibration that I can infuse into my grids that support me, sustain me, empower me, gently awaken me. And then you invite your body as well from the future in a fully actualized state, your teams, each one of your team members, to send appropriate energetic information to you. So super simple one-liner. Future self, infuse supportive vibrations into grids. Future self, infuse supportive vibrations into grids. Soul rider, body, teams. And then you are using this time of shift, change, opening to level it up, but in a very conscious, connected, supported, gentle, gentle, gentle way. Deep breath in, balancing and stabilizing, updating your grids, all your reference points. Take a moment to let that integrate. And as it integrates, feel free to share in chat room if you wish, but you might be in an altered state, which is fine. Stay in your altered state. Any shifts or changes inside yourself. The fatigue might feel a little bit lighter. You might feel a little more solid, and that's kind of that groundedness, which is lovely. You can definitely ask your spirit family and guides to do the same for themselves because they too have grids. And when we use our position here in the physical dimension to invite our people in other dimensions to move into a more abundant, supported way of being, it often positively, empathically impacts us. So sometimes our challenges that we have here in this world is actually a group challenge of what we have when we're back over on the other side. And so you come down and they're like, well, hopefully they'll use the position in the physical dimension to help all of us shift this challenge that we're all having on the other side in the world, perhaps that you come from. Like receiving. Okay, that's a good one. So we just got a little bit of an ear pressure change. Ear pressure change in the left ear. You might feel it. Download coming in. And we're going to bring in a piece for your spiritual families. An energetic protocol to assist your spiritual family, your guides, your team, your advisors, all beings in other dimensions on this planet and other planets, other worlds that impact you, that affect your life, your reality, your consciousness, your world. Deep breath in, pulling your energy and awareness into your line. We invite your spiritual family, your guides, your team, your advisors, all beings that are encircling you, that are impacting you and your journey, to reference their energetic selves in all dimensions where they are expressing themselves. Just holding space. You can just imagine this whole crew of all of these beings maybe gathering in a safe and sacred space, inviting you, soul rider, at the level of your higher self to reference an appropriate dimension, to gather everyone that's impacting you from the other side. Go. And impacting you in a positive or a challenging way. Gather all of them in this safe and sacred space. And as you gather all of these beings, we invite them. You're using your position in the physical dimension. Invite them to use their energetic selves to reference their sparks. Reference your sparks. Reference your sparks. In the heart of Source, so the source of all sources where you're expressing yourself. Reference your sparks. There we go. Reference your divine cosmic loops, your loops of light, your lines of light that connect you with your sparks. Embrace your loops of light. Embrace your sparks. The spark energy, really, it's embracing the reflection of the spark. Very good. And remember your true selves, your essence, your light, your beauty, your perfection, your connection, your passion, your joy. We're just inviting all of these beings that encircle you, that hold vigil for you, that impact you in some way on the other side or in the other dimensions on this planet, to remember their light, their essence, to gather all of their creative energy back around themselves, reweaving it, embracing it, valuing it, cherishing it, being in awe of it, letting it support and sustain them more deeply, to remember their essence more deeply, to embody their essence more deeply, to gather all of their resources around them and to deeply receive their own vibrational resources from all of their journeys, their expressions, their incarnations in all worlds and all realms. That is light, that is love, that is connected, that has flow, that has bounty. There we go, that has a connectedness to it from that place of the divine. There's the shift. And just take a moment to hold space for all of these beings that impact you in some shape, some way, to gather their light, to move into a more connected state, to embrace their gifts, their wisdom, their mastery, to feel that empowerment, that bounty, that joy, that gratitude, that humility from that place of gratitude and all that they are that is divine. And then balance and stabilize. Recognizing you just used your position in the physical dimension to make a request for these beings in these other dimensions to amplify connectedness inside themselves. You just accelerated their spiritual growth and evolution at an exponential rate. Gently, to the degree that they choose. You can always say, to the degree that you choose. And then model that. Model that to me, positively, empathically impact me as I journey here in this world. Model this bounty, this connectedness, this joy, this freedom, this power, this empowerment to me from a place of humility and gratitude. And then they don't go into the arrogance, and then you don't get empathically impacted by the arrogance. And then there is a piece around karma with this, that anytime we increase our connection with our essence, we do want to invite all of these beings, as well as you, to clear any negative karma that might have been waiting to be triggered, recognizing that when you move into a very particular vibration, you can neutralize the karma because you no longer need to use karma as a mechanism for growth and evolution. So the guides are like, slow that one down, deep breath in, inviting all of these beings that encircle you, that impact you, your spiritual family, your guides, your teams, your advisors, to gently work with their energetic fields, with any beings that work with karma, to gently dissolve all negative karma as they move into a more connected state. To dissolve all negative karma as they move into a more connected state. To amplify gratitude for this deeper level of connection. There we go. As they ascend or awaken to their light to a greater degree. And you would have been empathically impacted by it. But again, I'll explain karma in a little bit more detail in a moment. But we're just watching that shift of them dissolving all negative karma as they move into a more connected state. And breathe. Balance and stabilize. They're looking good. Update your grids, all your reference points, and if you get an insight of other work to do with them, continue working the layers till it feels complete. And then updating all reference points, all ways in which you perceive, holding space for them to integrate those shifts again to the degree that they desire. Deep breath in. Take a moment to feel into shifts. And again, with each process, I'm like, okay, so how did that impact us? There's a stronger container. It's like we feel more supported because our people are more supported in the dimensions where they're expressing themselves. They gathered their resources around themselves. They connected more deeply with their light. There's almost like a more solidness in them, in a good way, that then creates a more grounded connectedness inside you. And again, feel free to share shifts, changes inside yourself. And I'm going to look at heart, July 17th. Okay, guides just said go deeper. Okay. And you might yawn. It's a reset of that central nervous system. It also allows for a little integration of the two pieces that we've just done. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's ancestral and mass consciousness. So whenever there is an opening between the worlds, because that's going to happen on July 17th, everyone on the planet is doing something at an energetic level, preparing for it, processing it, shifting, releasing. And so when we have basically like a mass field, I'm going to call it the mass consciousness, preparing for an opening, as well as Mercury retrograde, because we're all on the planet, we're all going to feel Mercury retrograde for those 3 weeks. We can get empathically impacted by a mass consciousness release. And then when mass consciousness is releasing, a lot of ancestral stuff comes up as well, because a lot of people are clearing ancestral patterns out of their fields. So it's a double whammy of you're feeling it yourself personally, you're feeling mass consciousness processing and releasing. And then mass consciousness is also processing and releasing a lot of ancestral patterns. So we're going to bring in an energetic process so that you stay in your own container and you don't get swept by the wave in the mass consciousness field, because that's very uncomfortable. Deep breath in. An energetic protocol to assist you in staying in your own process and not getting swept by the wave of mass consciousness with a prep for an opening of a window between the worlds, as well as Mercury retrograde and a deep, deep release. We invite you to take a deep breath in, to relax your body, to hold space for your energetic self to do this work, not the mind. As you hold your energy and awareness in your divine line, we invite you, soul rider, at the level of your higher self, your body, Davis higher self, and teams, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to reference a dimension where you, your body, your teams, your guides are all supported. So all of you, it's that huge group field of you, soul rider, your body, your teams, your guides, your advisors, your body's guides and advisors, referencing an appropriate dimension that supports all of you as a group field, where it's safe, where it's calm, where it's connected. There you go. Hold space for some energetic aspect of you, soul rider, your body, and your teams to reference that dimension far beyond the mind. It's just like you're referencing this layer or this floor where you can sit in stillness and quiet and calm. There you go. And as some energetic aspect of you references that lovely dimension that matches your consciousness, your body, your teams, your guides, your advisors, use your higher self, your body to higher self, your teams, your guides, your advisors to craft an appropriate vibrational fabric, grid, protection around you that supports you in holding the majority of your energetic awareness in that dimension for the next 10 weeks. And you're just saying to yourself, I'm referencing a supportive dimension where we're going to hold our energetic awareness for the next 10 weeks. It supports us in a gentle, graceful process where you're not swept into the wave of what everybody else is doing. You get to do it your way. You get to be conscious in the release, the recalibration, the cleansing, the cleaning, the repairing, the revitalization, the restoring, the opening, the receiving of energetic information from the other side, from your guides, from your advisors. It's this beautiful, restorative, transformative, empowering, but so gentle process where you, soul rider, your body, your teams are configuring your fields to hold your energetic awareness there, to process there, to reweave there, to release there, to shift there. That doesn't deplete the resources of the body. It's like in this realm where your body can do it and not use the physical field. Because when we use the physical field or the emotional field, we feel destabilized, tired, depressed. We might even get physically ill. And so some energetic aspect of you just referenced an appropriate dimension, configured your fields there for the next 10 weeks to hold that space. It's like your spa room. You get to stay in your spa room. Some part of you energetically stays in your spa room, releasing, cleaning, recalibrating, reweaving, revitalizing, receiving appropriate energetic information from your world that you're from. Soul rider, your body receiving appropriate energetic information from Gaia, from nature spirits, galactically, if that's relevant and appropriate. Your teams get to restore. And as you just set up the grids for yourself in that dimension, see if you can feel a quietness in your field. It's like you just got above the fray. And there might be a calm. The grip is maybe gone as some part of you stabilizes your fields. And then I feel the body almost like weeping with relief because that was really loud. And then I hear the guides and somebody's body, Dave, is saying, well, can we just stay here forever? Like, yeah, you could stay in an appropriate dimension and just do all of your energetic work in an appropriate dimension that matches you, not holding your energy and awareness in the dimensions where the majority of people are doing the energy work that's really chaotic. So, feel into that energetic process maybe every day of I invite my higher self, body Davis higher self teams, guides, advisors to reference an appropriate dimension where we can release, recalibrate, reconfigure, restore, repair, reconnect in a dimension that is appropriate for us, that is not part of the mass consciousness field. It's appropriate for us as a group field, each one of you individually, but it's a group field that's supported. Again, balancing and stabilizing. Updating grids, all reference points, all ways in which you perceive. And the guides just said daily cup for that one. Yes, we just did it, but sometimes when I do a daily cup, I bring in, it goes slower, deeper, of referencing a realm that supports you. And then you can do it even when Mercury isn't retrograde, even when the Lion's Gate isn't happening. And it's not the mass field, like that mass consciousness field. And that might be a really powerful practice, especially if you're highly empathic with mass consciousness. Deep breath in, balancing and stabilizing. Okay. Nature spirits. Okay, so the nature spirits are also going through an awakening, recalibration, a reconfiguration. And I'm just asking what's being asked for. Okay. Okay, so the body is your body, David, nature spirit, physical human form is going through, it has an alignment with a particular elemental energy, nature spirits. It might be an elemental energy, it might be a nature spirit. And there's a sense of community that's important and needed because it creates a supportedness. And again, hunting, I'm looking for the layer. Okay. An energetic protocol to support your body. Taking a deep breath in, soul rider. Body, divination, nature, spirit. At the level of your higher self. Work with your energetic fields and the guides to reference an appropriate dimension where you can connect with the nature spirits that you are aligned with. It might be elementals, it might be fairies, it might be dragons, it might be crystal people, it might be cheetahs, it might be whales, it might be eagles, it might be fox. Body, use your higher self, your energetic fields, to reference a dimension where you can connect with the nature spirits that are your family, that are your people, that are your circle. There you go. And it might be a culmination of nature spirits and elementals. And Body Deva, as you reference that dimension and are encircled by these nature spirits that you are aligned with, connected to, part of, elemental energies that you are connected to, part of, reweave your grids of connection, communication, guidance. A lot of the time when the body gets disconnected from its circle, it loses track. It does not know how to navigate in this world. No clarity, no intuition. And you, Soul Rider, are witnessing your body, imagining holding space, whether you perceive it or not, holding space, body, divination, nature, spirit, reference that circle, there you go. And as you do, keep using your higher self, your energetic fields to reweave all of your grids of communication, connection, relay of information, and the receiving of information that has the capacity to support you, help you heal, and guide you in every single breath. Regardless of your physical dimensional circle or space or place, you might align with the dolphins, the whales, but live in the desert. Doesn't matter. Body to use your higher self to reference that appropriate dimension where you can be in that circle. There. Open those lines of communication and connection, body deva. Little light language helps the body, bypasses the mind. There you go. Anahuta, anahuta. Good. Elemental connection, nature spirit connection, Gaia connection, if relevant and appropriate for your body. Gaia Earth, the essence of. And then as your body references that circle, body deva, use your higher self, your energetic fields to feel that circle of support around you. And sing. Sing the song of being in that circle. Whatever that song might be, or that dance, or swirl the colors, or be in the movement of that circle. There we go. Restabilize, clean your fields. Reconnect, reconnect, reconnect. Receive appropriate guidance of how to navigate in this time. There. And never let that go. Let yourself be in that circle. Never let that go. Breathe. Allow for ripple or reflection. Space for integration, integration of the information. Light language doesn't have the meaning the way English words do. It's more of a vibrational experience, and each person, each body deva receives it in their own unique way, brings it in vibrationally for appropriate connection and grids. Soul rider snuggling up on front of spine. Body linking in with your circle. Breathe, balance, and stabilize. Take a moment to let that integrate. And that last piece got, there was a weepiness to it. There's also a fullness. And I'm looking at the heart piece, but it could be that that last piece kind of got the body reconnected to the appropriate elements to help start stabilizing all of the energy centers, which then stabilize the organs, the glands, the meridians. And then the body also grounds in its own unique way when it's in its circle. So I'm just going to look at little one-liners that we can be in over the next 10 days between now and that portal window opening. And we brought in quite a few pieces around it, but I'm just seeing if there's another layer. And it's not like a hardcore protocol, it's just more a perspective, a stance, a pivot. For the next 10 days, you could write down a couple one-liners. And one of the one-liners that you can jot down is releasing all grids that do not serve. Me, soul rider, body teams. We're releasing all grids that do not serve in an appropriate dimension. And when you say in an appropriate dimension, it's that dimension that you're referencing where you're doing all of your recalibration that's not part of the mass consciousness field. It's the floor that really works for you, your body, your teams. So it's we're releasing all grids that do not serve. It's like ancestral grids, limiting grids, grids that you might be holding that are from a place of perceptions of disconnection, no flow, stuck. We're releasing on some energetic aspect of us, or we're releasing these grids. And when we think about grids, we want to think of them like a fabric or a carpet or a blueprint. And it's funny, today I was getting ready for this in-person retreat, and I had a carpet in the teepee, and I heard pull the carpet out, pull that grid out, and keep it out like it's gone. And so it's like we're pulling these carpets that are messy or dirty or old, and they don't serve anymore. They're not lovely. And we're pulling those carpets out of our sacred space. And then it's clean, it's light, it's more supportive. So you're pulling the old carpets out. So that's one-liner that you could be in. The other one is I'm receiving energetic information from my future self that guides me and supports me. I'm receiving energetic information from my future self that guides me and supports me. So it's like you're being guided by some part of you in the future that is lovely, that is abundant, powerful, perfect, incredible. You're all that too right now in this moment, but you might not perceive it. And you're letting yourself be guided by your future self. So you're using this window to call upon yourself in the future, because anytime we have a window opening between the worlds, we are able to access our future and our past selves way more easily. And so use the time to call upon your future self to send you appropriate energetic information that serves you in the now, in an empowered way, in a conscious way, in a gentle way, in a connected way. And then you're just getting these little gentle whispers from your future self guiding you. And you could say your future self when you're in your debrief at the end of this incarnation, but it's your future self in your debrief that is your highest potential, or you from the future as an ascended master. So releasing old grids that don't serve, future self send appropriate information, guide. And then I'm just checking to see if there's one more little one-liner that we can be in for the next 10 days. Okay, so then you would say people, meaning all beings of love and light that work with you, your spiritual family, your guides, your advisors, your team. Encircle me and model a supportive energy. Encircle me and model a supportive energy. Encircle me and model a supportive energy. Now you're getting positively, empathically impacted by them. You're also inviting them to hold a supportive energy, which actually accelerates their growth and evolution. So then you are encircled by these beings who are modeling a supportive energy, positively, empathically impacting you and helping you navigate this time. Also, too, when they're holding a supportive energy, you're getting little energetic downloads from the other side of like, oh, I remember that sweet sound or that sweet song from my world, and that nourishes your heart, your soul, your mind. Taking a deep breath in, feeling into your body, your being. Earlier, before we started recording the session, we were talking a little bit about this energetic release that everybody's having and how it can be like an energetic detox, and it can be really hard on the body. So that process we brought in of inviting your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your teams, your guides, your advisors to all reference that other dimension where you're in this very safe, sacred space, doing your energetic shifts there in a supportive container, not using the physical field and emotional fields to do all of the work, not doing it getting empathically impacted by mass consciousness, then your body doesn't go through the energetic detox hit. So higher floor, doing it all on a higher floor that doesn't negatively challenge or impact the body or the emotional field. And then I just felt a little teeny tiny headache, which is actually good because that's your body being like, oh, I'm not going to challenge my physical field, emotional field, mental field with these huge energetic shifts. I'm going to do it on a higher floor, thank the heavens. But then your body just moved into a higher vibration. And so then you invite your body to balance its electrical and magnetic energy in the craniosacral fluid for a higher vibrational way of being, to expand the magnetics and the roots. So when your body isn't challenged by that, it can then naturally move into a more harmonic vibration, but then we get the headache. I call it like the energetic headache. And you have to expand your magnetics, your roots, because the higher vibration you hold, the more grounded you need to be. And then the guides just said something funny, and they were like, talk about that thing about chewing. So when we chew, it grounds us. It grounds the body. But then your body is using its physical self, chewing, eating, overeating, trying to ground. And you would say, body, what would it feel like to use your higher self, your energetic fields, to bring in appropriate grounding mechanisms that can support you in grounding without using your physical field? And then the body doesn't have to eat to ground. So we might bring in a daily cup for that, of grounding without using the physical field. But the very simple one-liner on that one is, as we prepare for this opening between the worlds, doorway, the body can get a little ungrounded. And so you just gently every day say to your body, use your higher self, your energetic fields, to reference a dimension where you can craft grounding grids, roots, magnetics that work for you, that are held in an appropriate dimension that serves and supports you. To expand your magnetics, your roots, to infuse appropriate vibrations that work for you into your roots, whatever those might be. And then you're witnessing, imagining, and holding space for your body to weave its own roots, to hold its roots in an appropriate dimension, to expand its roots, to ground itself using its energetic fields, not the physical field, not eating or fatigue or depression or fear or lack or anger. Body, use your higher self, your energetic fields to ground. Breathe, bounce, stabilize. Allow for that ripple and that reflection of grounded body in another dimension to you here. Letting that integrate. Deep breath in. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else. Okay. So the next tall cups is going to be after that portal opening on the 17th. And so I'm just looking at, we've got these 10 days of releasing old grids, crafting new, and then I'm going to look at what is a stance we can hold as we enter into that doorway, or rather that doorway window opens between the worlds on the 17th. And what's the stance to hold for those first 5 days of this doorway opening? And then we'll complete. Okay, so the 17th window opens. Okay, good. So these are little advice from higher realms, guides on prepping for the 17th. They say that 3 days prior, so it would be the 16th, 15th, and 14th, you would invite your higher self, body to his higher self teams each day to use your higher self, your energetic fields, to spin your fields in a counterclockwise direction, cleaning your fields of all vibrations that is not in alignment with your essence. So you're spinning your fields in that counterclockwise direction just for a minute or two. And then invite your higher self body to his higher self teams to spin your fields in a clockwise direction, gathering all your gifts, your wisdom, your mastery, your creative energy around you, stabilizing your field, snuggling up on front of spine, soul, rider. So we spin in a counterclockwise direction to clean. Do that for 30 seconds, a minute, 30 seconds, or 20 seconds, or 3 seconds. Then spin the fields in a clockwise direction to gather, retrieve, restore, stabilize, harmonize. And then soul riders snuggle up on front of spine. So it's like a 3-part process. Then invite your spiritual family, your guides, your advisors, your teams to encircle you and to gather appropriate vibrational energetic information. Gather appropriate energetic information, energetic resources that they can begin sharing with you when that doorway opens. So you're basically saying, okay, everybody, get all the presents, get all my presents that you want to give me. Gather, 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 gather. Get them all ready, get them all ready. So 3 days of, you could even take 10, of inviting them to gather in the appropriate dimensions that support them, that enable them to share that energetic information with you, the gifts, the resources, the insights, the motivation, the inspiration, the drive, whatever it might be. Gather, 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 gather. And then on the 17th, with that doorway opening, invite your higher self body, Davis higher self teams to reference an appropriate dimension where you can receive the information in a gentle, graceful way. And remember it deeply and embrace it deeply from a place of gratitude. Gratitude prevents you from the arrogance. It also prevents you from going into, do I deserve this? So we want to go into the gratitude. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I left that over on the other side. And thank you. And again, it's like the suitcase that you didn't bring because for whatever reason, or you left or you sent back home with trauma. When we have trauma, we sometimes let go of our gifts. And so we're using this time to restore and get your crew around you. So those are the energetic processes, practices, intentions that you can hold. And it might, if it feels like a lot, you just imagine that it's Christmas or Hanukkah, and some part of you is going to be given many gifts by your people on the other side who love you, who remember you, who know you. And these are your gifts. It's like you just left them on the other side. Your body, David, might have left them in another dimension. And then you're receiving them in an appropriate dimension that enables you to embody it, embrace it, and be in gratitude for it. Deep breath in, balancing and stabilizing your fields. Updating your grids. Guides just said we are energetically full. It's like a big meal, full. 15 layers to today's session. It felt like a very kind of grounded session in an interesting way. As you take a deep breath in and pull yourself into your divine line, take a moment to feel into shifts and changes inside yourself. So ride or use your higher self to snuggle up on front of spine, to balance the energy between your divine line and your body, David's divine line. To stabilize your Mercabic disc, your Mercabic field, that orb that encircles you. Updating all of your grids, all your reference points, all ways in which you perceive. And take a moment to hold space for some energetic aspect of you to integrate in an appropriate dimension. To then gently wrap yourself in sheets of rainbow light. Gently sealing these vibrations in to whatever degree is appropriate for your spiritual evolutionary state. And let it be so. Oh. Letting that integrate. You have been listening to the Cups of Consciousness show with me, Aleya Dow. Receive a free month of the Cups of Consciousness. Go to 7cupsofconsciousness.com. When you get your free month, you will get 5 cups a week for 4 weeks. You'll also receive access to a live Tall Cup of Consciousness session. Feel free to review the show. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Aho.